he came along, he said, look James, I don't want warranty, I don't want any of those things, I'll just buy it as it is. I think we knocked £300 or so off the asking price. He's now had the car, I'd say, for maybe, is it 3 months he's had the car? Might be a little bit longer. And he's come by today and the gearbox is making a bit of a strange noise in second. So update on the guy with the blue Punto, where he bought the car without a warranty. He actually wanted it without a warranty. I had my price for the car. He came along, he'd had an insurance payout on his car after it had been crashed. He only had a set amount of money. I knew him quite well. He said, look, can you just sell it to me as is before you go through and do all your normal prep stuff? Can you buy it without warranty at a lower price? And I agreed it, and I knocked 300 odd pound off of it. It might even have been £400 I knocked off actually. I said 300 earlier. I think I looked back at my paper, it was about £400 I knocked off. And then he came back in because the gearbox, after about 3 months, the gearbox was making a funny noise in second. Car's still entirely drivable, by the way. It's just when you go to select the second gear, it's not like a synchro noise, but it's kind of like something's not quite right. But as soon as it's in the gear, it's absolutely fine. It makes no noises in any other gears at all. Anyway, so I put it out in the last video. Lots and lots of you commented. Now, first things first, the guy is a star. He's an absolute star. He's just the nicest guy in the world, and he was not kicking off at me at all when he brought the car back. He was just saying, this is the problem I've got, what can we do? So I added up all the maths, and as you saw on the last video, and it was about £600 with the clutch, because the clutch wasn't at fault. He bought it knowing the clutch was a bit sticky. I think the release bearing was a bit sticky, but that was noted on the sales form, so he knew that. And he said, look, the same as me, if we're going to take the gearbox out, we might as well put a new clutch in at the same time. So he came back after we had a look at it, and we had a chat, and I said, look, it's going to be around about £600 to have all of this done. And I said, I think, yeah, so taking the gearbox out, putting the recon gearbox was about 350. Then I think I said there was about 350 in labour. So anyway, it's about £600 just putting the gearbox in, another £100 for the clutch, so £700 in total. Sorry, £700 in total to put a new clutch release bearing, put the gearbox in. And he said, look, if that's what it is, I'll pay it. And I was like, bless you. He's like, no, this deal we had, I'll pay you for it. I said, look, my conscience wouldn't be clear. I said, at the end of the day, we wrote down on the form and said, if you brought the car back and you wanted to claim for a repair to be done, before the work could be started, you'd have to basically pay the balance of what you got discounted off the car against the full retail. And on the paperwork, that was £300. I said, you're now asking for the clutch to be fitted, which is another 100, and that's not a fault. I said, so what we'll do is we'll split it 50-50. You give me 350, and I will put the new gearbox in with a new clutch. And basically, in this scenario, I'm basically eating the labour in this scenario. I'm pretty much just eating the labour side of things. But he said, no, it's all right, you don't need to. I said, no. I said, at the end of the day, it's just, you've got to do what seems right. And for me, if he'd bought that car retail and he'd come back in with that problem, you know, we'd have paid for it to be done, albeit we'd have had the extra money. Now, I know a lot of you were saying below, that's the deal he did, he needs to stick by it. A lot of you were throwing the consumer rights thing out there, which is right within 6 months if it's not fit for purpose. He can come back to me, but we have to remember the car is actually still fit for purpose. It runs, drives fine. It just makes a noise when it goes into second. He's using the car every day to go to work, and everything else on it is working fine. So the question is, on a 2010 car with nearly 100,000 miles, is it fit for purpose if it just makes a bit of a noise going in second? You could argue that actually the car isn't still entirely fit for purpose, and that fault wasn't existing when the vehicle went out. It wasn't making that noise when it went out. But at the end of the day, you can have as many laws as you like, you can have as many trading standard stuff as you like. You've got to do what feels right to you and what feels fair to you, so you can go home at night and feel good about your business and good about your customers. And this guy's so lovely, he wasn't kicking off at all. I think this is the right thing to do. Split it 50-50 with him, and I'll probably, like I say, end up eating the labour side of things. He's going to cover the parts, and I don't, you know, we can't really say fairer than that. And I think, again, I think I won't sell vehicles like that going forwards. I did it for him as a bit of a special thing because I know the guy really well. He's had a car off me before, and probably because I knew he's the kind of person that would stand by his word as well, and not be the type of person that says one thing and then wants something else later on. Now, I know a lot of you are going to kick off and say I'm too soft in the comments below, as you always do, and I do accept what you're saying. I probably am too soft. I'm running a business and I'm trying to make money, But at the end of the day, I'm putting these videos out in front of, well, in the last 28 days, 1.1 million people have watched the videos. Not on a single video, but over all the videos. And at the end of the day, I'm putting myself out there, warts and all, for all of you to see the way I run my business. And I think I'd still do this even if it wasn't on camera, to be fair, but this is the way I want to do business. I want to do business this way, and it may cost me money every now and then, but as someone said quite rightly in the comments before, behaving this way probably means I'm going to be here. I might not be making a fortune, but I'll still have a business going forwards. I won't have to keep changing a trading name and disappearing off into the sunset every 5 minutes because I've just thrown buckets over the cars, as I said earlier, and just stuck them up for sale on Facebook Marketplace with no preparation at all. But yeah, so comment down below. Do you think that's a fair deal? Do you think that's the right way going forwards? Yeah, just comment down below, because obviously, like I say, just going back to the rules side of things, there's only one way a trader can actually sell you a car with zero comeback, and that's if he sells trade to trade, because we're both assumed to know the score, or if he sells you an unroadworthy car that you trailer away, which means you physically have to put that car on a trailer and take it away, or he has to have it trailered to you. You can't let them test drive it, you can't let them drive the vehicle at all. It's got to be sold as unroadworthy, and ideally if you're a trader doing that, you want to photograph or video it leaving on a trailer. That's the way it was sold, because the minute you let someone get in and test drive a car, you're saying it's roadworthy. So that's the only way someone can actually sell you a car that way, just for your knowledge, guys, if you end up in that situation. That's the way it is. Anyway, hopefully you guys think I've done the right thing. Well, a lot of you are not going to think I've done the right thing. You're going to think I've eaten a load of money again. But hopefully you think it's a fair thing to do, and you can only go through life treating others as you want to be treated yourself, I think, and hope that that comes back to you in a little bit of karma in the way people behave with you. So anyway, let's get that little grey one photographed and get it up for sale. Right guys, I've got £1,700 cash here. A few people paid me cash for cars over the last few months, and I've not been banking it because they charge me to bank it, so I've been trying to use it where I can to pay Pete, but I do invoice, and Pete does declare it all, by the way, in case anybody starts hopping on that. It has to go through my books, because otherwise I can't offset it on my tax. So yeah, so I've been paying for cars. I bought that blue 500 cash from that chap, and what I've got left is £1,700 in cash. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to set a challenge to try and go buy a car today for £1,700 that we can flip from private, and we're going to look at Facebook Marketplace, I think, maybe a bit of Gumtree, have an ask about, and just see if we can't pick something up, because I am short on stock, and if we go and wave this around under somebody's nose, we might be able to get ourselves a bit of a deal. Well, let's see what we can find. So this is the one I'm thinking of snagging. I've just done a little bit of research. I won't bore you by going through everything on Facebook. It's down in Exeter, so it's not a million miles away. It's I-20. It's got the 1.4, which is the higher road tax, but you do want a bigger engine in these, and it's a 5-door, so it'll work as a family car as well. It's only on 58,000 miles. It's got a new MOT in it. I just checked the MOT history on it, and it was really good. And the book says so the MOT history was just a possible suspension strut might be needed, and I've checked what Woods Trader it says, and it says that the book is 2876 for it, so 2795 is probably the price point. Got it up for £1,795. I've just bunged a bit of messaging back and forth to him, agreed a deal at £1,550 if I send my driver down. So my driver will go down, run it around the block, go through the gears, check the clutch is okay, but that looks like a good bit of stock. If we can do that deal and get it here quickly, then then we could be doing right. I mean, the trick with Facebook is you've just got to basically trawl through it, send loads of messages to people, put some cheeky offers in, and sooner or later you'll hit upon someone who wants to move a car on quick. They've probably got another car they've already bought, or they need cash, and you can luck out. I mean, bodywork wise, we don't know what the score is, but let's face it, this is going to be a hell of a lot better than anything I could buy from BCA at that price point. So Adrian, bless him, has gone and picked up that I-10 for me. It's pouring with rain, so I don't really have any idea what the score is with the car. Looking at it straight away, the alloys are in a pretty bad way. They're going to need a respray, and hopefully we've got the locking wheel nut. But they are nice looking alloys. It's a nice looking car actually. It's hard to tell in the rain, but down this side it doesn't look like there's any real dents. And round this side. Corner of the bumper's alright, no scrapes on the corners of the bumpers. One little ding there, a little bit there. It's no biggie, that ding really. I don't think I'd paint that being black. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to do a part of a door there. Maybe my dent guy can come and get it out. And just the same with the alloys, just a bit flaky. So hopefully we can get away with the rub down of the alloys, but we'll have to have a look inside it in a bit and then have a little drive. As I say, it's pouring with rain at the moment, so it's difficult to tell exactly how good it is. Got nice half leather interior. This all looks like it'll clean up okay. Give the leather a bit of a feed. Get the G101 on these seats and clean them up. It smells nice as well. And the rear seats are in good nick as well. So again, they just need a clean up and a bit of a feed. Quite like the red stitching. It's quite nice. So we're taking her for a little spin. She's only done 38,000 miles. I said in my head for some reason that she'd done 75 or something. So the mileage is a lot lower than I thought it was. I haven't had a proper listen to the engine yet, but it seems okay. We've got the all-important auxiliary and the iPod input. I say the interior is quite a nice interior on it. So we'll go for a little spin around the block and we'll see what we think. Let's put you up here a second, see if it'll stay up there. Sorry, camera fell off the dash there, so I stopped recording. There's two keeper. It goes through the gears fine, guys. Goes through the gears fine, stops fine, brakes fine. Engine sounds okay. Could do with an oil change. It's not low. It's just pretty black. And there's nothing in the book since 2014. I might find out a little bit more service history wise if I put some calls in. It just needs a bloody good clean up, really. And I say all the alloys need refurbing, so we'll have to get straight onto that. But yeah, other than that, it seems alright, mate. Alright, guys, sorry. But yeah, we're not really going to be able to tell till it's dry, obviously. But what I'll probably do is drive it home tonight. Take it for a longer run, just double check it seems okay, and we'll take it from there. So I've just run a little Hyundai through Auto Trader, adjusting for the mileage, because obviously I thought it was 70 odd thousand miles. It's only like 38. So I bunged it through, and yeah, bear in mind it's got a brand new MOT and it's only got 38,000 miles, so I don't have to do anything to it on that front, and it says it's 3475, which surprises me. I mean, I thought maybe 2995 with that miles, but yeah, maybe this is a 3495 car, guys. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Let's drive it home tonight before we get too excited and check that it's all good, because we know in my game on these old cars I can run into problems.